Hello and welcome to Veda. So today for Veda, I wanted to talk about the first part of The Stand. I have now read through book 1 and I've started on book 2. So far, the Superflu has been released by some very, very sloppy security work, which it's amazing. Like, when you think about it though, like logically, that's all it would take. One person being able to get free and already being exposed. All it would take. So far, we've seen Charles Campion escape with his wife and begin the outbreak. I apologize for that. Kitty really wants to be in here, but she would not be patient while I recorded, so she's outside. Yeah, so far, Campion is out. He is spread the virus to his family and started the spread down in Texas with Stu Redman and his friends, and that's where all the trouble starts. That's what I like about this Superflu, the Captain Trips virus, is that it is so like unrelenting because it's a mutation, so it has the ability to mutate and change, and anytime they think they have resistance or a vaccine built up, it can alter and oops, no good. Except for those select few who we learn about in book 1. People like Stu Redman, Franny Goldsmith, Larry Underwood, Nick Andros. We get to know these people and their families as this virus begins to rip through the world and completely decimate everything that exists. And that's one thing I like about King's storytelling, is that like he goes into such detail in what seems like such a minor thing, but it is going to be, it's defining that person's character for things that happen later. Because like this is my first time actually reading The Stand, but I've seen the miniseries, so I have a rough idea of what goes on. But of course, there's much, much more that is not covered in that miniseries. That hopefully, if Josh Boone sticks to the plan of doing like what they're going to do, like 4 movies of The Stand, starting like I think sometime next year. If that plan continues, like they'll be able to cover like this entire book, and that would be interesting to see. The most interesting thing, however, will be who they cast as Randall Flagg. I personally have my pick because he's already in another King property, and not to give away anything, but we know that Flagg is not his only name, and he plays a bigger part in another series of Kings. Personally, I would like to see McConaughey continue in the role that he's going to establish with the Dark Tower movie. Walter, the Man in Black, Randall Flagg, all the same guy. He is, as we'll learn in book 4 of the Dark Tower, which I'm going to read after I finish The Stand. But that's a reread for me, so I already knew that. So far, like I said, it's interesting to see like how these people lived their lives prior to the Captain Trips taking over and prior to the world falling apart on them the way it has, and also seeing how they deal with their loved ones or their friends succumbing to this virus and them being the only one that seems to be immune. Franny, for example, Franny Goldsmith is strong as hell. Like, I try to put myself in their places, and I love to think I would be a Stu Redman or a Franny Goldsmith, but I don't know, it would probably be one of those people that King devotes a whole chapter to, that like group of people who don't quite manage to make it, either for clumsiness reasons, like they survived the Captain Trips virus, but then they wind up dying for some other really stupid reason, like they, injure themselves and get an infection, or they just end it. In the grand scheme, like we would all hope we would be, one of the survivors that, stuck it out and Hell, you know, I'd like to be, I'd like to think that I was just Glenn Bateman. You know, just kind of like takes it in stride, and it's like, oh, and I got time to do things I want to do. I don't have to go like, you know, to a job anymore. I don't have to impress people. I can just, you know, sit in my house and read, hang out with this dog, you know, like, go paint pictures out on, you know, just see something interesting to paint, just stop on the side of the road, just, you know, that's in a Captain Tripp style situation, in a situation like The Stand, I would hope I would be one of those people. But of course, you know, we never know fully until we're actually in that position. So, and hopefully something like that will not happen in my lifetime, but always good to be prepared, right? Anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about today, was just to go into some depth into book one. I'm enjoying the hell out of it so far. I have actually the first mention of Flagg bookmarked, so I can go back to it and read it again and again, because I find Randall Flagg as a character absolutely fascinating, and including like all the allusions that are made as to like what he really is. It's like Randall Flagg is some of King's best work, and I think incorporating him into other stories was a pretty big stroke of genius on his part, because like he has this massive perfect villain who, you know, is so into the idea of chaos and destroying the world and restructuring it in the way he wants it. So it's interesting to see like the ways that King uses him to instigate that chaos and help founder it and bring it about and make it, you know, even if he's not directly involved, how he uses it to his advantage. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. As always, I hope you're all well, and I will see you tomorrow.